afternoon, everyone. I am Sharon Porter with INLIVIAN, and today for our Live TV, we are talking about keys to success with life coaching. Many of you probably don't know that our residents here at INLIVIAN have life coaches, and we're doing everything that we can do to support families out of poverty. So today, we're joined by a life coach and a life coach trainer, Coach Kami, and our Executive Vice President of CORE, which is our supportive services arm, Tamika Evans. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning, Sharon. Doing well. Hope you are.
I am great.
Good morning.
I want to get right into it because therapy is very much a hot topic, right? There's a lot of Ayanna Fix My Life out here in these streets, right? Lots of therapy talk. People are really trying to be emotionally aware. But what is life coaching?
Hey, Sharon, and thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. So life coaching, like really at its basic, it is an individual who is that guide on the side. They engage another individual in maximizing their potential, both professionally and personally, whichever one is needed. And they do it through a creative, thought-provoking process. That's what life coaching is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's not therapy, though.
It is not. So this is where the waters get muddy. Yes.
Exactly.
It's not therapy, but it is close. Like there is a fine line, right? I would say one of the major differences between coaching and therapy is that, well, of course, outside of the obvious, right? If I'm a therapist, then I am diagnosing, I am treating, I am finding a DSM-5 code that fits this disorder, right? And I'm connecting the two. If I'm coaching, I am coming from the standpoint, and this is what we teach, that the individuals that we work with are whole, capable, creative, and resourceful. And so I am actually supporting them in answering their own questions and digging out the answers that we believe they already have.
I once heard that life coaching looks forward, therapy looks backwards.
There you go. That's it, right? You think about the times if you have gone to therapy, most of the time is spent trying to reconcile the past, trying to figure out why something happened and why it's impacting how you show up today. As a coach, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but what do you want to do for the future? Right? So therapy is really like, if you don't need to reconcile past, we may talk about the past every now and again, but it really is about making a clear definition of where you are right now and where you want to go, and then devising a plan to get there.
So we have Rhonda Lott Kimball who has joined us, and Rhonda says, I imagine you're talking about therapy, gives you the tools to figure it out.
Yes, yeah. And both do, kind of. But I think with coaching, the onus is more so on the individual. It's on the client. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tamika, this is a really kind of out of the box approach for a housing agency to do. What led you and your team to start implementing these sort of resources for our residents?
Yeah, so a really great question, Sharon. Thank you so much. First, thank you for having us on the show today. It's a great opportunity for us to talk more about what we're doing in CORE. However, so to answer your question, to kind of take you back to bring you forward, there was several years ago, we began working internally on kind of where are we today and where is it that we desire to go for our future of CORE, the future of INLIVIAN. This was also during the time that as an agency, we were exploring a rebranding also for INLIVIAN. And as you know now, we are INLIVIAN Housing Redefined. We're no longer the old housing authority. We have authority on no one's life. And we, at that time, operated, or we staffed up with case managers. And everybody understand what kind of case management is. You see case management in the medical profession, in the human services profession, and it's really where you're kind of managing a case, right? So we viewed it as, a kind of an old thing. We no longer manage people's lives. Our residents, our clients, they're not a case, right? They're really our residents. They live with us. And our goal is to help them improve their lives if that is what they decide. So as we learn more and more about life coaching, we believe that life coaching would really help core improve and elevate how we work with our residents. It helped guide
Okay.
more of our work. It really helped connect with them in a different way. So that is really one of the main reasons that we explored this whole life coaching kind of new model, to move away from the old kind of historical case management to more of a new and innovative way of really reaching and meeting with, working with people to help them achieve what they desire out of life.
That's amazing. And that's very forward thinking, I'd have
Absolutely.
to say. So Coach Kami, you trained our life coaches. But I mean, many of them, not all of them, many of them are social workers by education and passion. What did you teach them?
One of the first things that they had to grasp, and Tamika, it's something that you said, right? That the client is the expert, that they are not the authority. They are not the authority in that other person's life, right? That the person that they are working with, the family member that they're supporting, that person is the authority. That person is the expert. So it really is this shift. And kudos to INLIVIAN for being progressive, because that's exactly what this is, really. Looking at tools to support an individual that will expand just the moment that they're in, the current situation that they're in, but being able to equip them with tools to move through life and change their generation. So one of the things that they had to learn was to let go, to not be in control, to not be the fixer. And that is hard when you are trained as a social worker.
Yes.
You have that fix it mentality, right?
Right.
And a lot of folks who are drawn to the coaching profession, they just are helpers by nature. And it's hard because we have connected helping with fixing, and they're not the same. Not in coaching.
They're not. They're absolutely not. Tamika, let me ask you, what's been the response from residents who've now experienced life coaching now with us for over the past year?
Right. So let me put this in perspective just a little bit. So Coach Kami didn't mention, but when we first started our very first life coaching course, we were in the middle of it, and bam, the pandemic hit. Yes. Right. So when we truly rolled out our life coaching model and using those skills in how we work with our residents, we were really in the middle of a pandemic. Not really, we were in the middle of a pandemic. So we were really doing a lot of figuring out ourselves. So being full transparent, I would not say that we have went out and we really did a big marketing push. However, that is part of our plan. But what I will tell you is that since we have started implementing the life coaching model and using those skills, I'm happy to report that we have seen over the past year an increase in the number of our participants who are actually achieving one or more of their goals that they set for the year. An example to put that in perspective would be last year at the end of 2020, when we ended, we had about 34% of our residents who were in our programs who were achieving one or more of their goals. That's an item that we track. And I'm happy to report that as of current, we have over 50% of the residents in our program who are achieving one or more goals. I believe that is a direct correlation to the work that our staff are doing directly with our residents and using those skills within that life coaching model to help work with them toward meeting their goals. So
that's fantastic.
I believe that is a direct response from the residents without asking them. The proof is in the pudding and in those numbers. So
numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Absolutely.
So Coach Kami, what do you tell people who believe that life coaching is kind of a fad?
Yeah. So what's interesting is I entered the profession before it was sexy, before it was a fad, right? Before you could like literally throw a stone and hit a coach. and you know, for some people, it is a fad. I don't engage in those types of arguments or conversations. It's kind of like if you know what you have your hands on, then you just let it speak for itself.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying for some people it will be just that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, Tamika, let me ask, how does the program work with our residents?
So how the program works is currently we have an identified life coach that is at each one of our respective properties that we provide services. So what happens is that upon that resident moving into that property or getting transferred over that property, we initially meet with them. We let them know what services we have available, that we have a life coach here that's available to work with them, help them with their goal setting. We actually start that process with actually an assessment, trying to determine, okay, well, what are some of your needs? What are some of the things that you present with? And once we know that, we work with that resident in helping them identify, okay, so what is it now that you desire to work on? If you know that you have these things that, you know, are presented or present in your life, what is it that you desire to change, right? And how can we help you get there? So that's really the basics. It's very simple. Living in one of our properties, anyone have access to work with our life coaches who live at our respective properties. Now, what I was saying is we really do work with the residents to determine or help them determine, are they ready to really begin that work, you know, because it's truly their work. Again, we're not the dictator, we're not the fixer, as Coach Kane said. We're truly there to help them identify what it is. And then, all right, let's start working on some goals. Let's develop some things that can help get you there. So the process is very simple. They can reach out directly to their property to get in touch with that person that can begin that work with them.
Wonderful. Coach Kami, can someone really break the cycle of poverty with life coaching?
Sean, that's a great question. And I believe absolutely. I think that is part of a component. I don't think that life coaching is the end all be all, right? So I don't want to communicate that by any means. But the type of coaching that the INLIVIAN life coaches have been trained on is transformational coaching, right? So there's transformational coaching and then there's transactional coaching. Transformational coaching coaches the person. Transactional coaching coaches the problem. I believe that life coaching, as they have been trained with the transformational component, can eventually help because you're coaching the mindset, you're coaching the person. So you can inject any problem and that individual will have the skills that they need to work through that problem. Poverty, there are many layers, there are many facets, but at the core, no pun intended, it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, sure.
It's a mindset. And it's that mindset and that thought process that's passed on from generation to generation. And so coaching helps to shift the mindset.
I love it. Tamika, how has your staff responded to becoming life coaches and to doing the work as life coaches?
Well, I must say they have responded really well. In the beginning, when we first rolled this out and presented to them, hey, we're taking you through this rigorous training, you're going to have to become certified. There was panic in the beginning. I must say so myself. There was panic. There was uncertainty. Because one of the things that Coach Kami will probably tell you is that a great deal of the coursework is focusing on themselves, right?
Absolutely.
So the response in the beginning, I would say, was a challenge. However, as people got into it and as they learned from their teammates who had maybe been through it before it was their time to come through it, it has been well received. It has been well received. All staff are very appreciative, and they have also made shifts in their own lives as a result of becoming certified life coaches. So to me, it's had a two-pronged approach. It's not only better them, but it also helps them better work with the families that we're so fortunate to serve every day.
So Tamika, how can residents get in touch with their life coach?
Absolutely. So residents can get in touch with our life coaches. They can do that two different ways. One, they can contact our main office line and contact our customer call center, which is 704-336-5183. They can also contact CORE directly, which is INLIVIAN's nonprofit, where our life coaches actually are employed. And they can reach our office manager, Ms. Reagan Sadler, and she can connect them to their appropriate life coach. And that number is 704-223-4020.
Wonderful. And Coach Kami, how can people get connected with you?
Awesome. So via email is really simple. It's hello@kamiandrea.com, CAYMEANDREA. And the website is the same, kamiandrea.com. If an individual wants to reach out via social media, then at Coach Kami.
On all platforms.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, ladies, it has been a pleasure talking with you today. I am excited. I'm a believer in life coaching. I've had it myself and I love it. Oh, Chris Campbell says, awesome job. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
So it's been, I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm excited to see how you all are going to change people's lives. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day, okay?
You're welcome. Thank you. Great day.
Thanks, Tamika.
Bye-bye.